You see, in other words, that is the... See, you have to understand that there's a modernist idea that Islam is something you need to reinterpret in every age. That is very alien to traditional understanding. The traditional understanding is rubbish. Guidance was given 1,400 years ago and explained 1,400 years ago, and we don't need any new explanations. All we have to do is go and look at how they understood it and how they explained it. Now, there are people now who say, no, it's patriarchal, and what you have is all patriarchal explanations, and it's because women were not... well, Aisha was there. Why wasn't Aisha saying this is unfair to women? She was a brilliant woman, right? Why didn't she stand up and say, this is unfair to... One woman came to the Messenger of Allah and said, Ya Rasulullah, why is everything revealed about men and we don't see women being revealed? After that, it all started coming. Al-mu'minun wal-mu'minat, al-dhakirun wal-dhakirat. Allah started mentioning, and that's part of the learning process. Because the Arabs were people, if it comes immediately, I mean, this is all wisdom. It's all wisdom. From the very beginning, equating men with women. There would be many Arabs that wouldn't even become Muslim just because of that. They wouldn't even listen to it. What? Yusawi bayn ar-rajul. And the Arabs, it's pretty clear that we're not the same. You know, flex the muscle. And because that's how their mentality, they were Jahili people. They saw that might made right. If you could wield a sword, then you were right. Even if your opponent had a better argument. Just chop off his head. Over, I won. Right? And that's how these Jahili people now do it, right? Iraq goes, America goes with all their weapons, bombs the people, and they say, we're right, you're wrong. Right? Why? Because we're powerful, you're weak. That's not an argument. A man with intellect doesn't say that. Wait a second. Is that right? A man with intellect doesn't say that. Let's listen to what this person has to say. Right? I mean, that's what the Israelis, Palestinians, right? Palestinians, if you listen to the argument, look, we've been living here for centuries. We raised this land, we owned it, we had families here, we had all these things. These people just came in with backing of colonialists, forced us off our land with guns, chased us out. Does that sound right? How would you like it if you're sitting here in Hayward, and one day the army comes in and says, you know what, we're moving all of you out, right, and we're taking all your homes, and we're going to stick you in the Nevada desert. Why? Well, because there's some people over here that are, we like them more than you. Who is anybody in Hayward would anybody in Hayward accept that as being right? Would anybody? No, they'd be fools if they did. But the idiot will say, well, tough luck. They were weak. City of Hayward, bunch of wimps, you know. The militia came in, kicked them all out. Tough luck, right? American Indians, well, tough luck. They were weak, couldn't stand up to our technology. And that's the Jahili mentality. Might is right. That's Jahili mentality. And that is the Arab mentality before Islam. Understand that, people. And so if might is right, a man is over a woman. Because a woman is weaker than a man. The vast majority of women, right, can be defeated by the vast majority of men if we duke it out. And if that's the case, then shut up. You know, I'll just punch you in your face. And that's a Jahili man. And that's why, look what the Messenger of Allah said. Think about this. مَا رَأَيْتُ مِن كُنَّا بِأَغْلَبَ عَلَى ذِي لُبٍّ. I've never seen anything like you women that can take possession of a man of intellect. In other words, an ignorant man will never be dominated by a woman. He'll never listen to the advice of a woman. But a man of intellect, you see, he can be overcome by a woman. Because one, Intellect necessitates that he's going to be compassionate. Intellect necessitates that he's going to recognize just because I can beat you in an arm wrestle doesn't mean I'm always right. Intellect necessitates that it's good to capitulate. Intellect necessitates all of these things, and that's why Sayyidina Omar, who could punch out anybody, right? When the Bedouin came to the house and to complain about his wife, and he hears Omar's wife telling him what's up, and Omar just being patient and saying, yes, dear, and Omar, you know. And then he wants to leave. Omar comes out and he said, this is my wife. She makes my food. She washes my clothes. She takes care of my children. Shouldn't I be patient with her? Shouldn't I? You know, in other words, in that place, it would be inappropriate for me to use might or beat her up or do. Why? Because I have lub. I have an insight. I recognize this woman, look at all she does for me. And how can I be? So this is, you know, this is the Jahili Arab. And so when the Quran came initially mentioning all these things about men and also the Huris, if you look, all of the ayahs that deal with Huris are all Meccan ayahs. In Medina, you stop that focus removed, which is no way to belittle that, but to recognize that this was also part of bringing people into Islam, bringing them to guidance through things that they could understand. And this is the way these men were. And once they were firmly rooted in Iman and these type of things, then Allah begins to cause them to grow, to start seeing there's even better things than Huris, right? There's the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.